What is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Garceau. Welcome back to another video. And ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2022 Stanley Cup Playoffs, and I am here to do my part in doing this prediction video. Starting with the first one, we got Florida and Washington. Now, this is actually a pretty tough series. Originally, I was gonna pick Washington, and it's mainly the fact that Washington plays Florida pretty well. They're a good playoff team, good defense, good offense. I mean, just a powerful team. But Florida this year's looked really good, especially with Sergei Bobrovsky being in net now, Spencer Knight backing him up. Their goaltending is really good. Their defense has done some terrific things. Aaron Ekblad has been wonders on the blue line, and the rest of the defense is picked up as well. And then their offense is pretty much the best in the league. I'm going to pick Florida to win this one in 6 games. Leafs and Tampa. Interesting, huh? No, I didn't originally anything. I love my Toronto Maple Leafs. And I said this last year as well. At the end of the Leafs season, when they were eliminated, I said, I cannot pick these guys next year to win a playoff series. I just can't. Until they prove me otherwise, they are not going to win this playoff series. Tampa Bay is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. They pretty much should have won the first seed, but they were riddled with injuries and had too much trouble there. The only thing that will send the Leafs soaring through the Tampa Bay Lightning is if Vasilevsky gets hurt. Then there's a chance. But without him being hurt, I gotta go Tampa. I am picking Tampa in 7, by the way, so no need to worry about that. Tampa in 7, and Leafs will definitely make it a battle. Don't come up with the win at the end of the day. Next one, Carolina-Boston. This is an interesting one. I actually have it here as well, just to kind of see what I was thinking last night when I made these predictions. And yeah, I have Carolina in 6. I like the Bruins, and I understand Frederik Andersen is injured at the moment. He's probably going to miss 2 or 3 games. Anthony Ranta could steal a couple. He could. He could steal 1 or 2 at least. And that 1 or 2 is really all Carolina needs. I can't speak this morning. Carolina needs to get that sort of bump or bounce back into the series. As soon as Ranta gets that 1 win or that 2nd win, I think Boston is done for. Linus Ullmark, not the greatest goaltender for the playoffs. Yeah, it's just not going to go well for Boston. I mean, they have a really good offense, and their defense with the new addition of Hampus Lindholm could really help them. But Carolina, with Frederik Andersen now, with a good defensive core around Frederik Andersen, Rob Brendamore is a really good coach, and I think he's going to power this team through to the next round. I did say 6 games for Carolina. Rangers and Pittsburgh. This one's tough. I nearly went Pittsburgh. I went with the Rangers. Give me the team that is going to do better, honestly, in a 7-game series, especially with Igor Shesterkin's season. Definitely is going to win the Vezina, without a doubt in my mind. He has been the best goaltender in the league. The reason why the Rangers are doing so well, if Shesterkin somehow gets injured, then they're in really big trouble because Georgiev has not been the greatest goaltender for them this year. I do think Crosby will still make it a tough series. 7 games for this one, and 6 and 6. Moving on to Colorado versus Nashville. And I've already hovered over the team I'm picking. I always give credit to Nashville Predators because they're a sneaky team. They come home to Nashville, and we know how that crowd is, and Colorado maybe can't take the pressure. But this is a new Colorado team with a new goaltender, with some new faces. Nazem Kadri's had a fantastic season. He kind of fell off the wheel a little bit, or fell off the wagon is the other term, at the end of the season, but he still had a unbelievable season, career-setting season for Nazem Kadri. Nathan MacKinnon is terrific in the playoffs. Mikko Rantanen. Yeah, I could go down the list, but this team is just too good to not beat the Nashville Predators in the first round, and I give it to Colorado. Minnesota, St. Louis. Now, I am a secondary St. Louis fan. However, I've watched this happen far too often. St. Louis gets Minnesota in the playoffs every once in a while, and they always lose. There's a bad history with these two. They've had a lot of big battles between each other between the years of probably 2012 to I'd say about 2018 until the year St. Louis won the cup. Minnesota with Marc-Andre Fleury, with Cam Talbot, with that defensive core who's been really good, with the Minnesota team that has been dynamite on the faceoff dot. You got some really good scoring from Kirill Kaprizov, and they may not have the centerman depth in terms of offensive production, but that doesn't really matter because St. Louis has kind of lost that over the years as well. Now, Buchnevich has been amazing for this team, for St. Louis. And obviously Tarasenko is still there, and Ryan O'Reilly and Shen. And yes, that Stanley Cup team is still there, but Torrey Krug on the blue line instead of Alex Pietrangelo, I don't like it. I've never liked it. Bennington's had his troubles this year. They'll probably start Villahuso in net, so we'll have to see how that goes. Robert Thomas has been really good for the St. Louis Blues as well. But I think Minnesota's going to squeeze this out, especially having the last game at home. I said this would be a 7-game series, and if I didn't say it earlier, as much as I said Nashville would give them trouble, 6 games for Colorado. Calgary versus Dallas. Sorry, Dallas fans. Calgary is going to blow you out of the water. This team is ready for the playoffs. Jacob Markstrom in net. Defense has been on fire. Offense has been electric. This is my 3rd favorite team, by the way, in the NHL. I already got my 3 favorite teams in the playoffs, and 2 of them are out. But one of them is going to make it through. It's going to be the Calgary Flames. Look, I really admire what Calgary has done. They have turned everything around since last season. Last season was an awful year for the Flames. Now they come back. They bring some new pieces in. They strengthen up their roster a little bit. They bring in Blake Coleman. They bring in Tyler Toffoli. They have that offense there. Elias Lindholm has had a career season with the Flames. Andrew Mangiapane, just the list goes on. Gaudreau, Kachuk. They are so playoff ready this season, and they are going to smoke the Dallas Stars and make them not even want to be in this position. I feel bad for Dallas. I'm calling this the first sweep. Edmonton versus LA. I think a lot of people think this is going to go a very long series. I really don't. I see Connor McDavid finishing very quick. And I'm going to say in 5 games for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in the gang. I know Edmonton doesn't have the goaltending. Neither does Los Angeles. I know Jonathan Quick is a fantastic goaltender, has won cups, has been there before. He's a little bit older. And Cal Peterson is really good too, but he's not as good as Quick. I think, sure, maybe Quick can steal 1 or 2 games. Maybe 3, but I don't think so. I think one at max is what I'm thinking right now, and that's probably going to be the first game, and then Edmonton will just go ham and win the next 4. Florida and Tampa Bay. This is a really tough series. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with the Stanley Cup champions. I like Florida in this scenario. I think the first seed will be dethroned. In at least the Atlantic Division, I think Florida will be knocked out. Bobrovsky is a really good goaltender, but so is Vasilevsky. If you have to decide between me who's going to make better saves, bigger saves in the moments they need it most, I take the 2-time Stanley Cup champion, Andrei Vasilevsky. All right. Then you got the defense. Ekblad versus Hedman. I take Victor Hedman all day. Then just the depth of the Tampa Bay defense is so much better than the Florida Panthers. Now, yes, Florida's offense probably smokes Tampa out of the water. However, Ross Colton has had a fantastic year with this team. Then you have guys like Steven Stamkos, Braden Point, hopefully he comes back, Kucherov. The list just goes on. I mean, they don't have Yanni Gourde anymore, but really, did they need him? Not really. They had so many guys they could fill in those holes that they needed, and that's exactly what Tampa does. Carolina versus the New York Rangers. I got another first seed being dethroned. The New York Rangers are going to go into Carolina in Game 7 and win. Colorado versus Minnesota. This is another good battle. Minnesota just recently played Colorado. They shut them out. They did a fantastic job. Marc-Andre Fleury. This is really going to be the decider. Can Marc-Andre Fleury show up like he's had done in the past against a Colorado team that is really, really good? And the answer for me is no. Minnesota, I think they're a couple years away. I think their centerman depth is going to keep them just a little bit far away from the playoffs. Yes, I know they have Joel Eriksson Ek and Nick Bonino and all those guys. Yes, I know. But Colorado is ready. They're ready to win a championship. They know exactly what they need to do to get here. Darcy Kemper, maybe not the best goalie in the world, but he's enough to get past Minnesota. And that's exactly what I think Colorado will do in this scenario. So I'm going to pick the Avalanche. Calgary versus Edmonton. I think we all know where this is going. Calgary. Calgary is going to win this series. And Edmonton, as nice of an offensive team they are, their defense is horrible, and their goaltending situation, quite frankly, scares me, the fact that they made the playoffs. Now, I know I just went and roasted Edmonton really hard and saying that they're going to beat the Kings in 5, but I think Edmonton is really good against, how should I put this? Calgary's going to outscore Edmonton. And then their goaltending is going to be better than Edmonton's, which will kind of balance the fact that Calgary is just an overall better team. So I think Calgary's offense is going to shine over Edmonton's. That seems crazy, but somehow they always make it happen. Their defense is a lot better than Edmonton's as well. And then you put the goaltending on top of that, it's over. Tampa Bay versus the New York Rangers. I know all Rangers fans would love me to say that they're going to go to the finals, but I'm taking Tampa Bay. I mean, anyone see that? There's a fly that just went by my face. Okay. These two teams have played in this spot before. Henrik Lundqvist has been beaten by the Tampa Bay Lightning before. Shesterkin, really, really good goaltender. Again, if you have to take between Vasilevsky and Shesterkin, I'm taking Vasilevsky. Rangers defense is pretty good. Not as good as Tampa's. And then just the playoff experience alone of the offense of the Tampa Bay Lightning will get through this Rangers team. Colorado versus the Calgary Flames. I have a bit of an upset. I know they're both the 1 seed, but this is an upset to me at least. I have the Calgary Flames going to the Stanley Cup Final 2 times in a row. We will have a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup Final. And of course, Tampa has to knock out another one of them. I really like Colorado in this series. If you look up the matchup analytics, you'll see why. Goals per game are pretty even. Goals against per game are in favor of Calgary. Power play percentage is pretty even. And Calgary has a pretty good penalty kill as well, and it's a little bit better. Obviously, Mikko Rantanen being the leading scorer, and Johnny Gaudreau on the Flames side. So it's pretty even, if you ask me. There's really nothing that kind of like distinguishes one team from the other. I think they're both insane. And I think it's going to be an offensive frenzy. And then there will be some games where it'll be really, really close. This is definitely going to be a 7-game series. Calgary will win the 7th game. I do believe Colorado will host the series because they do have more points. Yes, they will host. But I think Calgary could win it in 6 games, win it at home in front of their fans, and go to Tampa. Calgary and Tampa Bay. Home, sweet home for Calgary at the Saddle Dome. Penalty kill is pretty even. Power play, very even. My goodness, like 0.5 percentage. Goals against are pretty even. Calgary's still a little bit better in that category. And Calgary's a better goal-scoring team. However, this is the freaking 2-time Stanley Cup champions. This is what alarms me every time someone says, Tampa can't go 3 times. Yes, they can, and they will. Okay? They are going to go 3 in a row, Tampa Bay. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me that this team wins 2 in a row, and then all of a sudden people think they're just going to fall off out of nowhere. It's the same team. They're just missing Yanni Gourde. They're missing a couple pieces on the fourth line. Besides that, that core is still there. And honestly, there's no team in the NHL that I see beating this. I don't care if you guys think Colorado's going to make the finals. Tampa still wins that series for me. It doesn't matter. Like, look, we can do whatever you guys want. Let's say Edmonton beats Calgary somehow, all right? And then Minnesota wins, all right? And then Minnesota goes to the final. Calgary still wins, or Tampa still wins that series. Even if Edmonton makes the finals, Tampa still wins. The only team that is going to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in a playoff series is either, once they get to full swing, it will not be the Rangers, it will not be Carolina. None of the Metro teams will beat this team. It'll be Florida, Washington, or Toronto. Those are the three teams that can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning because it is early on enough where Tampa has not gotten their full swing of thing and they just haven't been around long enough to find the win. But yeah, I think Tampa's going to win this Stanley Cup once again. I've mapped it out to 26 goals. I said there's going to be a couple close games, 2 blowouts, and this will end in 6 games for Tampa Bay. They will win in front of their home fans and be 3-time Stanley Cup champions. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong because I would love to see someone else actually win the Stanley Cup besides the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's back to the Golden State Cleveland Cavalier era, except it's just Tampa. There's really no one else. It's just them. They know how to win playoff series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more of these videos, and please make sure to turn on your post notifications to get notified when these videos do come out. One more thing, please make sure to share this video with friends and family. Helps me a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Leafs, hopefully they can do something. I don't see it happening, but hopefully they can win the series. Anyways, enjoy the playoff hockey, guys. It's fun, and it's a good time of the year when we get to watch all the teams of the National Hockey League battle for Lord Stanley. 2022, let's watch. Anyways, take it easy, guys.